from users. How do you bring that together? And again, I think it's an evolution that is really picking up where search, which is at the heart of many of our businesses, really started. Because phase one of web search was actually human editorial. For those of you who don't know, these are my previous bosses. This is a very young David Filo and a very young Jerry Yang 12 years ago, who had the great idea of cataloguing all the websites on the web. And it does tell you how far we've all come in 12 years, that two guys sitting in a caravan in the campus of Stanford University could actually categorize themselves personally every website that actually existed at the time that they launched. And that was human editorial. Well, there's a website. What does it look like? What category does it fit in? Let's create a structure. Let's create so I can go from this structure to this structure to this structure and find the website I want by categorizing things at a human level. We then went through an era, sort of the automation of that, with companies such as Alta Vista, also based in Silicon Valley. You started saying, well, there's got to be a better way. We can catalogue these sites in a more automated way. And then, obviously, everybody in this room's favourite friend, Google, which did this phenomenal leap into sort of really understanding the topology of the web, deep into web content, to be able to understand what was relevant, how people were using it, how relevancy really came through. But I think the opportunity certainly for us and for many people around the world is how these things start to come together. So, web search is great at finding a piece of data or finding a static piece of content. People are great at adding value to that content, creating unique insights, pieces of data that are changing every day. The opportunity that we see and that many others see is how you can start pulling that together. And it is the big challenge. If you look very recently at two announcements from Microsoft and Google, you'll see everything was about communication. It's about how people come together. Microsoft's sort of a pre-announcement of Bing, their sort of search, new sort of live search, which is, yes, it's core live search, but they're recognizing they have to make it richer. They have to bring content into that. They have to bring different dynamic forms of media into that, because that's what we now expect. And then Google Wave really looking at, well, if we've got documents, we've got mail, we've got chat, we've got search, how does that come together in a way that people are interacting in real time and finding things? So this is, again, what is going on the web. And if we're not part of that, if we're simply looking at static pieces of data that could be a year old, then the models are going to find it very difficult to go forward. So a quick run through what we therefore do at Quip, and obviously wouldn't pretend at Quip we're anywhere near the level of sophistication of the guys I've just referred to, but it's the momentum we see as that's going on. So key is it's about real content. It's about real people creating real content. It's about creating a community and incentivizing and working with that community in such a way that they want to create really high quality content. I said we've getting a couple of thousand reviews every day on average, and if any, sometimes we run promotions or have sort of games and good fun with people writing reviews, and that can go up to 6, 7, 10,000 reviews a day. So we're well over 1 million unique reviews, 1 million unique pieces of content, which are unique insights into restaurants, hotels, shops that nobody else anywhere else has. And that's a key to what we do. And what we're very proud of, I think, there is the fact that these reviews on average are at least 3 or 4 paragraphs long. This is people who want to express their opinion. They want to give information. They like writing. They like sharing. And that's because we work very hard on our community of these real people. And I think one of the other things, and it I guess partly links to the previous speaker, one of the other things we find very interesting when we look at our own data on Quip is that one of the most actively the mass usage of Quip is people looking for places to eat and drink and shop, and looking at other people's reviews, comparing and contrasting those reviews, and then making decisions, clicking to a website, calling somebody up, or simply going offline to do something. But actually, the bit of the site that is the most actively looked at is the pictures of the people that you can see up there. because that gives people context. So I've got a review, but who wrote this review? What sort of other reviews of this person write? Do I know this review? Does somebody I know this person who wrote this review? Do they like other things that I like? This is all about putting things in context. It's about making choices, but it's making informed choices because of the people involved and how you understand those people. And those people are then sharing their secrets. They're constantly, as well as writing reviews, posting messages, connecting and talking with each other to share the latest thing that has gone on. And we work very hard to support these people in real communities. So these are local communities. So in Hamburg or in London or indeed in Barcelona and Madrid, every month, so last month in London, there were 6 different Quipe nights, which are essentially arranged by senior, sort of very active members of the Quipe community, users, not the company. But they often engage with us. They may engage with our restaurants, which will come on to the monetization in a minute, but they will engage with the restaurants and say, well, let's organise something here. Let's get 20 of us along here. It's a restaurant opening. The restaurant's very keen on that because these people are active and they'll write about their restaurant. And so you get these active participation. This is bringing the online world, but bringing it back offline so that people can really engage and work through. And this, I guess, is for us where the lot of the content and the technology comes together. It's obviously the most trafficked types of page on Quipe, allowing people to find the places they want, to search, yes, structured information, data information on business information, listings, location, but obviously also on user-generated tags. Nicolas talked earlier on about further attributes and content and how people can work with that, saying, well, I want romantic restaurants and I want restaurants that open late or early, and really engaging in that. And just giving people constant ability to engage with the property and the site, all based around sort of unique and core quality content. So that's the first part of the presentation. It's really what people do, how they can create content, how the users then rank that content. It isn't a listing driven by ads. It isn't a listing driven by just an algorithm. It's a listing driven by what people think is most relevant to other people. And they're the users. They're the people who want to consume this. So how do we make money? Well, it's very early days for wonderful businesses like Quipe. We have 4 basic ways. We have a very attractive site, so we get good display advertising. We try and minimize that, and we play around with how much of that we should use. We have some Google AdWords on our site. We're also starting to integrate things such as live bookings, a look at e-commerce and transaction revenues, because these are active searchers looking for things to do. And we do have our own premium listings product, which is, I guess, the most closely allied to a directory type listings product. And I'll touch on that in a second. We have an attractive audience. Given that this is an audience of people not just looking for things but actually writing and contributing, it tends to be very comparatively affluent, because this is an audience that goes out a lot and does things. It's very internet savvy. So, it's a nice attractive audience that you can start to monetize. But obviously monetizing audiences like this is quite challenging, because what we've just seen is what is at the heart of something like Quipe and other similar businesses is friends and family, is your peer group, is the trusted recommendations. And in the heart of trusted recommendations from people, what is the role of the small business? What is the role of the advertiser? Because in the world of the web, people trust other people far more than they trust businesses. So the real opportunity, and this has to be the way forward for anybody looking at advertising, particularly small business advertising on the web, is how you can engage and help advertisers engage in that audience and participate, to become part of the experience of a site like Quipe or other sites, not just an ad on a page of listings. So we are by no means solved all of this. It's very early days for us to try and work this through. But what we're always trying to look at is how we can help small businesses participate